I wish I could act loving and inspired on this video because I was wronged. And I plan to tell you about the time I was wronged by a magistrate judge in Cleveland, Ohio. And although her name escapes me at this point, she tried to wrong me then. And I just found out I got a criminal background checked from Cleveland, Ohio. I know you can't see it, but I know that, the camera is kind of switched around. I know a lot of you Inspector Gadget people pause it and, get your gadget on. No offense, haters. But what the travesty that was done to me must be corrected, and I shouldn't have let it slide. I took the words of the proceedings and I let it slide, just because I was released and the judge and her team falsified information for a second time during the whole proceedings. Well, this is the Foundation for Elevation Station in Cleveland, Ohio. And this was a black middle-aged female magistrate. And I plan to tell you the story. And I'm gonna try not to cry because I'm in my body about this. I got a criminal background check for something, and it wasn't, as lengthy as I thought. It's supposed to end in 2008. These papers supposed to end, but for some reason it's a charge from 2013, and it's a misdemeanor, and it's supposed to be a misdemeanor assault. They got threw out, and it says on this paper I was convicted, but it doesn't say what jail time or anything. It's just a blatant falsification, and I plan to tell you the story, and I can't wait to find out the judge who did it so I can just go down and get things corrected. This is a travesty. But wait till you hear the story, because the other part is just going to blow you out the water. And who cares if you believe me or not, but, people close to me knew it was. And even at the time, I was on federal parole. Federal. And guess what? My federal parole officer stood up for me, allowed for me to get released on this case. This will happen. Pin this. I can't remember her name. My federal parole officer, she believed in me. She already knew I was a good dude, like cook food ×3. I really thank her. Just thinking of her make me want to cry. She was a good motherly like lady. She was beautiful. I had met a young lady that I thought I knew, and after a couple hours of talking, we ended up at the hotel. And I had just got a good vehicle and feeling good, enjoying myself. Actually, I just come back from visit my mom. I'm coming down this street called Euclid. And we ended up in a hotel, and we had fun, a long time. And I get in the shower afterwards again, and I come out, and she was, using drugs, illegal drugs in the room. And I was like, look, I'm on federal paper. What you doing? You got to get out of here with that. So she said now she ready for some more. This was the best, intercourse she ever had. And she not through. And I said, hey, you got to get out of here with that drug. And, the action you using to put the drugs in. I'm on parole. So I forcibly forced her on out without much incident. So she go out the room and somehow get into some trouble somewhere else. And police apprehend her. And during that course of time, she told the police, hey, I was assaulted. Why y'all messing with me? I was the one assaulted. Boom. So later on, some type of time, I leave the hotel within a couple hours or whatever. And later on, they go to the hotel staff and say, hey, man, this lady said she was in trouble. Boom, boom, boom. They arrest me a month and a half later, maybe 2 months later. So I go to court. I was in jail 2 days, paid my bond. Parole officer believed me right off the rip. So I go to court, and I'm like, oh, this is the person, because I ain't know who the person was. And so they tell me, she ain't there. And so I still don't know who it is, but they tell me about the incident. So I vaguely, I know the incident, and I know it's a lie. So I'm like, all right, I ain't worried about it. So I go to court the next time, and the ladies come, and the prosecutor got a picture of the girl from before in her life, like 2 or 3 years ago, and before the time, and she was beat down like somebody had beat her face in. She looked like a Mike Tyson fight. Like after the Mike Tyson fight, like her eye was black and hanging, and her lip busted in 2 places. I'm like, oh yeah, this is like her type of life. She's had to be just into this type of causing situations. And I said in my mind, they trying to set me up. I said, I ain't say Your Honor. I said, Judge. I said, this is quite obviously a long time ago in her life. Look at her hair, and look at her hair on this picture. I said, how? And she said, well, this is what it is. You want to cop a plea? I said, look, I can't believe, and I cussed the judge out. So she said, all right, you're going to be in till your next court date. I said, all right. So I tell my dude, the public pretender, I said, hey, man, get a subpoena, an arrest warrant and all this. I said, man, this is not true. So he ain't really believing me. I'm like, man, this is some bull crap, man. So I'm in there for the 21 days, about 2 weeks in, less than that 10 days. They give me the report. So I read the police report. I said, oh. So I tell the dude, hey man, subpoena the police. So the police like, no crimes, no physical harm done to the woman. She did not go to the hospital, no medical treatment needed. I said, but that picture looked like awful, like Mike Tyson with in her mouth. I shouldn't even be smiling because it was just that ludicrous to feed into Mike Tyson again. It was ludicrous. And it was a very painful time in my life, but to battle was relieving. I loved the battle, and I couldn't believe like how they were attempting to railroad me. I said I wasn't gonna cry. I ain't. So I come back to court, and the police officers in the hearing, they come in right when we starting, and they come and they sit on the plaintiff's side. So I asked my lawyer, like, hey man, why they over there, man? So he like, I had switched my lawyer by this point. I fired him while I was in there. So he like, what do you mean? I'm like, man, I subpoenaed them, man. They here for me. So he like, what? I'm like, man, just get them over here. So he like, Your Honor, I want to ask the officers, man, come sit on this side because, we with them. So I'm like, so they like, so they open the proceedings, and my lawyer asked the first one to go up. He was like, as soon as he sat down, the prosecutor just waved it all off. And the police officers was allowed to leave without testifying. So I was happy and like being a little extra, but I was glaring at the judge like, how you gonna, I ain't say nothing, but like, yeah. So they like, yeah, we gonna throw it out, but she tell me like, Mr. Meredith, we believe that this happened, so this would be viewable on your record just in case something like this happens again. I'm like, man, what the hell that's supposed to mean? This was a blatant lie, and y'all took it to this extent. So I guess this was she meant. It was still on his record, or we got the dark forces just put it on my record. But The truth stands clear. It was false then from the beginning, and it was false in the courtroom, and it's false now. I have no acts of violence or nothing in my record but this, a misdemeanor false assault. I can't believe it. And it was by a sister. I can't believe. But the worst part is when we had a workhouse, and the workhouse was for misdemeanors. Dudes waiting for court, or they sensing something, and they go clean up the freeway and stuff like that. So basically, it was like 300 men, 400 men in there, maybe 20 women. But I was talking to guys because they had me switch a couple times from units, and I was talking to all the guys and getting the real. And a lot of the guys was like, it's not true. Like, she even hit me multiple times before I even did something. But then I did, like, it was so many stories I was hearing that most of the men, at least 60%, I believed it in their voice. I believed it in their eyes that they were innocent. It was such a travesty, such a movement, just a railroading black men for domestic violences, just like they did for various many drug offenses. And this is just another claim. I'm a righteous man. I don't even want to raise my voice at ladies. Like, I don't want to raise my voice at men unless we ready to get it. Like, but this is very hurtful. I cannot believe this judge, and I'm going after her. I got so many other things to do, but this takes a certain degree of priority in my life. Not just, oh, let me clean my record up. No, it's like, you're an awful judge. Like, you actually just synced the picture. They had a picture of the lady whooped from before her life and allowed it to be presented to give leverage against me. And I can't believe that, black women, they know the story, how they turn everything against the black male, and we still have ladies that don't want to support black men in our community. It is just a shame, man. It's a shame for me to be out here struggling, and we got so many of our sisters that just steal against you. And you still got to fight for them. Still got to love them. It just reminds me of like everything else. Who wants to relinquish power? Who want to relinquish power? I guess I feel them. You got to keep loving them. Some people, Morpheus told Neo, people, they going to love the system. They love the Matrix. They don't want it to go away. They enjoying themselves. Just like the people in Babylon, just like the people of Atlantis. They knew the end was there and they wanted to have fun. It's all good. I'm going to keep riding. I'm going to keep pushing for even the people that hate me. But get out of my way. Stay out of my way. See, I have to be nice because that's what God, ordains. Or I just got to be a little something, even a little mean in a certain way. The way God will allow. But I'm passionate about a good number of things that are very discriminatory actions and behaviors of our community when it comes to fair treatment of black men. and how much that so many black men I know that love their family, love their community, that just need support to do more. And we still got people at every turn trying to use them, trying to trip them. Keep your head up, brothers. Don't be fake, because when I meet you, I'm looking for the real. I don't deal with the fake. Try to be as real as possible. It's so many men I see that come to vibe with me, but you don't exude nothing real. You don't. You, all of you. You come and you afraid to break the rules. What's up with that? Our people need us. Are you a coward? I'm just asking. Don't come to meet me if you a coward. If you just trying to get some money, man, get your backbone together. Those that mind don't matter. And the ones that matter rarely mind. Never forget that.